He saw him standing there, trembling with a worn-out ticket in his hand. Everyone walked past, eyes glued to their phones, ignoring his struggle. A simple act could have changed everything, but would he do it? When he reached into his pocket, he never expected what came next. What the old man revealed would leave him speechless, and bring tears to anyone's eyes. David had always considered himself a quiet man. Not because he was shy, but because life had taught him to move carefully, to blend in, and to avoid trouble. Working long hours at the local grocery store, he barely had time to think about the world outside his little apartment. Each day felt like a repetition of the last, stocking shelves, helping customers, and walking home under the dim glow of the street lamps. Life wasn't easy, but he managed. He had bills, overdue notices, and a small, creaking sofa that seemed to sag under his own quiet exhaustion. One crisp autumn morning, David decided to treat himself to a rare day off. He wanted to catch a play at the small theater downtown, a modest escape from the monotony of his life. Holding the ticket in his hand, he felt a strange excitement, a tiny spark of hope in the dull routine. As he approached the theater, he noticed an old man struggling at the ticket counter. His clothes were threadbare, shoes worn, and hands trembling slightly as he fumbled for coins. David paused. Most people would have walked past, but something about the old man made him stop. Perhaps it was the sadness in his eyes, the faint shadow of worry etched across his face. Or maybe it was a simple human instinct to help someone in need. Without thinking too much, David stepped forward and asked, "Do you need some help?" The old man looked up, startled, as if he hadn't expected kindness in years. I'm short," he muttered, his voice cracking. "Just a few dollars. I really want to see the play. My wife loved it when we were younger." David didn't hesitate. He pulled out his wallet, counted the bills, and handed the man enough money to buy the ticket. The old man's eyes widened, disbelief mixing with gratitude. He tried to protest, but David waved him off, smiling gently. "It's okay. Enjoy the play," he said, feeling a warmth spread through his chest that he hadn't felt in a long time. And so, with a humble nod, the old man walked away, clutching the ticket as if it were a treasure. David watched him go, a small smile forming on his lips. Little did he know that this simple act of kindness was about to set off a chain of events that would change both their lives forever. After leaving the theater, David walked slowly through the bustling streets, feeling lighter than he had in weeks. But not all moments are meant to remain simple. As he passed a busy cafe, he noticed a young man accidentally bump into him, spilling coffee onto his coat. "Watch where you're going," the man snapped, rushing away without a glance back. David sighed, feeling the sting of everyday indifference. The world, it seemed, had no time for quiet men like him. He thought about the old man at the theater and wondered if maybe this world was too harsh to ever truly appreciate small acts of kindness. People were too busy, too self-absorbed, or too indifferent to notice the struggles of others. Even his co-workers at the grocery store barely acknowledged his existence beyond polite nods and mechanical greetings. As he wondered, he noticed more struggles around him. A mother arguing with a cashier over an expired coupon, a teenager crying silently on a park bench, a homeless man shaking his cup for spare change, ignored by the crowd passing by. Each scene was a mirror reflecting his own quiet loneliness and the weight of a world that often forgot to care. By the time David reached his apartment, a heavy feeling settled over him. He sat on his sagging sofa, staring at the peeling wallpaper, questioning the value of his small gestures. Was kindness enough in a world so indifferent? Could a single act really make a difference, or was it swallowed up by the coldness around him? He felt a strange emptiness, a longing for connection that he couldn't quite name. That night, he went to sleep with a restless heart, unsure if he would ever see the old man again, or if the brief moment of warmth he had felt would fade into memory like so many other fleeting moments in his quiet life. The next morning, David was startled by a knock at his door. Hesitant, he opened it to find the old man standing there, holding a small envelope. His eyes glistened, a mix of nerves and gratitude. "I wanted to thank you," he said, his voice trembling. "You didn't just pay for my ticket. You reminded me that people still care." David invited him inside, and the old man handed him the envelope. "Open it when you get a moment," he said, smiling faintly. David nodded, curiosity and caution mingling. Later, alone in his apartment, David opened the envelope. Inside was a letter, written in shaky handwriting, and a small photo of the old man and his late wife, smiling at a theater years ago. The letter explained that the old man had been struggling since his wife passed away. Seeing the play again had been a way to feel close to her memory. David's act of kindness had restored something he thought he had lost forever: hope, connection, and the belief that goodness still existed. But the letter held one more surprise. Enclosed was a small check. The old man had quietly sold some of his personal belongings to thank David, insisting he pay it forward to someone else in need. David's eyes welled with tears, overwhelmed not by the money, but by the realization that kindness was contagious, and that his small gesture had sparked a ripple far beyond what he could have imagined. From that day on, David began noticing the little moments where he could help: holding doors, offering change to strangers, listening when someone needed to talk. Life didn't become perfect overnight, but it became meaningful in a way it hadn't before. One small act had broken through the wall of indifference and reminded him, and the old man, that even in a world full of challenges, kindness could still shine brightly. A simple act can change a life in ways we never imagine. Kindness is not measured in grand gestures, but in small, genuine moments. Every smile, every helping hand, can spark hope where it's needed most. Today, choose to be the light in someone's darkness, because one act of kindness can echo far beyond what you see.